Let's begin Chapter 14, Hermes Trismegistus to Asclepius, the Health of the Soul. This is a rich tapestry of metaphysical and spiritual concepts taught by the sage Hermes to his disciple Asclepius. This chapter is a crucial part of the text as it unveils the intricate relationship between the divine and the manifested, the essence of creation and its eternal source. It serves as a bridge to understand the profound interconnectedness that exists between everything that is known and the unfathomable. At the beginning of the chapter, Hermes positions himself not just as a master, but as an intermediary between the hidden knowledge and his disciple who represents humanity in its quest for wisdom. Hermes's discourse on the unity of God introduces the idea that all existence is a reflection or an extension of the divine mind. He articulates that the universe, in all its complexity and diversity, is essentially an expression of divine thought. In the calm of an ancient garden, where the leaves whispered eternal secrets with every passing breeze, Hermes Trismegistus shared with his disciple Asclepius the hidden truths of the universe. "Listen, my son," began Hermes, his voice as serene as the sky at dusk, "the world in which we walk is a reflection of the divine mind, a tapestry woven from the thoughts of the Creator. Everything you see, from each grain of sand to the vastest of stars, is a manifestation of divine thought." Asclepius, with eyes full of wonder, observed the nature around him, perceiving it as if for the first time. "Master," he asked, "how can we understand our own existence in this vast plane?" Hermes smiled, a smile that seemed to embrace the cosmos. "The key lies in the unity of all things. Just as sunlight disperses into 1,000 colors when it passes through crystal, the single mind of God fragments to create the diversity of the world. Yet each fragment, each form of life and matter, maintains a sacred connection with the whole." Asclepius reflected on these words. "So, Master, are creation and the Creator interdependent?" "Exactly," replied Hermes. "I consider the flower and the sun. Without the sun, the flower cannot bloom. Without the flower, the beauty of the sun is not revealed in its fullness. And so it is with the Creator and creation. One cannot exist without the other. They are reflections of each other, eternally linked by love and necessity." The conversation deepened in the shadow that the afternoon brought. "And what should we do with this knowledge?" asked Asclepius. "We must learn to admire and revere creation," Hermes taught. "For by looking with wonder, we begin to see the divine in everything. And by recognizing the divine, we come closer to the true knowledge of ourselves and the universe." Asclepius listened, knowing that each word from Hermes was a treasure, a flame to illuminate the path of true wisdom. As night fell, the disciple felt closer to the divine, entangled in the mysteries of the world's secret oracle. Comments on the chapter. These writings are distinctive in that they present a more direct and personal way of expressing man's relationship with God. Now in the video, we have the main concepts frequently discussed in this chapter. God as the source of everything. Hermes describes God as the original source of all existence, a recurring theme in Hermeticism. God is presented not just as creator but also as the essence of everything that exists, permeating all creation with his presence. The unity of God and the cosmos. Hermes Trismegistus focuses on the idea that everything in the universe is a manifestation of the divine mind. God is seen not just as the creator but also as immanent throughout all creation. This concept emphasizes the Hermetic idea that the all is mind, implying an inseparable connection between the cosmos and the divine. Devotion and reverence. The text consists of prayers showing Hermes engaged in a practice of reverence and admiration for the cosmos and the divine order. He models a form of spirituality based on respect and contemplation of the works of the divine, encouraging the reader to recognize and revere God's presence in all things. Interconnection between Creator and creation. The relationship between the Creator and the creation is a central theme in these prayers. Hermes suggests that without the Creator, creation would not exist and, conversely, the Creator expresses his will and essence through creation. This is a fundamental concept in Hermeticism, which views the universe as a connected whole, where each part reflects and contains the totality. Aspiration to spiritual ascension. The prayers also reflect a quest for purification and spiritual ascension. Hermes asks for wisdom and understanding to transcend human limitations and achieve greater proximity to the divine. This aspiration is typical of Hermetic literature, which often encourages the pursuit of gnosis, the spiritual knowledge that liberates. Manifestation of divine thought. Another important concept is that creation is seen as a manifestation of divine thought. Everything that exists is an expression of God's thought, emphasizing the sacredness of life and the material world, while recognizing its transcendent origin and purpose. If you're enjoying the video, subscribe to the channel and leave a like to help spread these teachings. Let's move on to Chapter 15. Chapter 15 of the Corpus Hermeticum, known as the Secret of Resurrection or, in some translations, the Prayer of Initiation, is a central piece in Hermetic thought, expressing concepts about spiritual ascension and the immortality of the soul. This chapter focuses on the spiritual transformation that transcends physical death. It is particularly notable for its discussion on divine nature, the fate of the world, and the role of human beings in the universe. In this chapter, the character Hermes Trismegistus speaks to Asclepius and discusses the relationship between God and the cosmos. Hermes describes the creation of the world as an act of divine goodness and will, where everything is made to reflect the perfection of God. According to Hermes, the world was created perfect, but human interaction with matter and the distancing from their divine origin lead to imperfections and disorders. Hermes also addresses the idea that humans, having a special connection with the divine, have the capacity to return to their spiritual origin. This process of return involves recognizing the divine nature within oneself and transcending material limitations. One of the most significant themes in this chapter is the discussion on the ultimate fate of the world, where Hermes predicts that there will be a progressive degeneration of humanity and the environment until the world needs to be purified and restored. This chapter addresses some of the following main themes. Divine nature and creation of the universe. It discusses how the universe was formed from a single divine origin. The divine mind, or nous, plays a crucial role in infusing order into the initial chaos. Origin of man. It talks about the creation of man, who is seen as a copy of the cosmos, containing both material and immaterial elements, a microcosm. Man is seen as a special creation, endowed with divine powers and potentials. Process of enlightenment and ascension. Hermes discusses how man can achieve gnosis, or true knowledge, which involves recognizing his true nature and divine origin. Enlightenment is presented as a process of remembering the divine origin of the soul and its subsequent ascension. Duality. The text explores the duality between the material and the spiritual, highlighting man's struggle to transcend his physical nature and reach the spiritual realm. Ethics and morality. Although not the main focus, there is also an implicit discussion on how to live a life that reflects this esoteric knowledge, valuing practices such as fasting, meditation, and the contemplation of the divine nature of all things. Tat, O my father, I desire to understand the truth about the gods and about the world beyond our mortal comprehension. How can I achieve this knowledge? Hermes, my son, first you must purify your soul from the contamination of worldly things. Only then will you be able to understand the immaterial nature of the divine. Tat, how can I purify my soul, father? Hermes, through fasting, meditation, and prayer. You must detach from bodily desires so that your soul can rise to the divine state. It is a difficult path, but it is the only one that leads to true wisdom. Tat, and what will happen when my soul is purified? Hermes, then you will see things as they truly are and not as they seem to be. The truth will be revealed to you, and you will understand the cosmos and your relationship with it. Your soul will unite with the all, and you will experience true immortality. Tat, father, how will I know that I have reached this state? Hermes, when your soul is no longer disturbed by passions and fear, when your thoughts are free from earthly concerns, you will know that you are beginning to see with the eyes of the soul, not with those of the body. Tat, thank you, my father. I will meditate on these words and seek to purify my soul to understand the divine truths you reveal to me. End of Chapter 15. Let's begin Chapter 16, often called Defining What is Man, which discusses the nature of human beings in relation to God and the universe. In this chapter, Hermes Trismegistus speaks with his disciple, Asclepius, about the nature and constitution of human beings. He explains that humans are a unique creation, made in the image of God, and possess within themselves both mortal and immortal natures. Hermes teaches that while the human body belongs to the material world and is subject to death, the human soul originates from the divine and is destined to return to the divine if purified from earthly influences. The discussion also addresses the duality of man in terms of reason and desires, highlighting the importance of self-knowledge and self-discipline in the pursuit of enlightenment and union with the divine. Hermes emphasizes that true self-knowledge enables humans to understand their divine nature and their inseparable connection to the whole. This theme resonates with the Hermetic principles of correspondence, as above, so below, as below, so above, and mentalism, the universe is mental, which are central in Hermetic thought. The text encourages deep reflection on spiritual life and the pursuit of wisdom. Now, I will discuss the various topics centered primarily on the nature and purpose of humans within the context of Hermetic cosmology and theology. Here are the main topics discussed. The dual nature of man. Hermes explains that humans possess a dual nature, one mortal and one immortal. The mortal part is the body, which is subject to the laws of matter and time. The immortal part is the soul, which is of divine origin and capable of achieving eternity. The image of God. Humans are described as a creation made in the image of God, implying that they possess divine attributes and the potential to manifest these divine qualities in their lives. The purpose of human life. The text suggests that the purpose of human life is self-knowledge and spiritual ascension. By knowing oneself, humans can recognize their divine origin and work to return to this primordial condition. Knowledge and ignorance. The importance of true knowledge is highlighted, in contrast to ignorance of spiritual realities. Hermes argues that knowledge is the key to unlocking the divine potential of humans. The connection between man and the cosmos. The chapter also addresses how humans are intrinsically linked to the cosmos and all creations. Hermes emphasizes that humans are a microcosm, reflecting the macrocosm of the universe. This idea is central to the Hermetic understanding that humans contain elements of all parts of the universe and thus can influence and be influenced by it. The challenge of materiality. Hermes discusses how materiality and physical desires can divert humans from their true spiritual and immortal nature. It is necessary to purify oneself from these earthly influences to achieve union with the divine. The process of purification. The purification of the soul is discussed as a requirement for spiritual ascension. Hermes suggests practices and ways of life that can help an individual purify from negative influences and cultivate spiritual qualities. Union with the divine. The chapter concludes by discussing the union of man with God, which is the ultimate goal of the spiritual journey. This union is described not only as a metaphysical aspiration but as a restoration to the true nature of man, where he lives in complete harmony with the divine and the cosmos. End of chapter 16. If you are enjoying the video, please subscribe to the channel and like this video to help spread this knowledge.